Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 25 of Innovative EdTech. It is lovely to see you again. I can't believe it's been a month since we last caught up for an episode here at Evolve EdTech. So thank you so much for joining us again this evening. If you're down here in Australia like I am, it is the depths of winter. And if you're over there in the Northern Hemisphere, I am very jealous, but I hope you're enjoying your summertime, even if you're going through a little bit of a heat wave. It is probably a little warmer than it is just down here in Australia. But welcome to episode 25. We have a great episode for you tonight, having a look at some AI tools. Now, we've talked about AI a lot. You know that I am a big fan of artificial intelligence. You know that it is something that I use in my own classroom. And tonight, we're going to go and explore some tools that you may have used, you may not have heard of. We're going to go and have a look at a couple of tools that I think are great tools that you could use and incorporate into the classroom. So welcome to episode number 25, Empower, Enhance, Engage, AI tools that elevate teaching and learning. All right, let's dive in and get this party started this evening. All right, so in the next hour or so, this is what we are going to have a look at. So in this episode of Innovative EdTech, we are going to go and reflect on why AI tools can actually help elevate your teaching and the students' learning experience. AI is a fantastic tool to use in the classroom, and we're going to go and reflect on why. We're going to have a look at some of those reasons why AI actually matters in education. All right, it matters. It's right now. It's here in the 21st century. It's here in 2026. AI is so important for us to consider and think about using it in our classrooms for a myriad of reasons. Then we're going to dive into the guts of this episode, and we're going to go and explore 5 AI tools that you might consider using and incorporating into your teaching context. So these are just 5 tools. You might have heard of some of these. You may have never heard of some of these. You may have used them, etc. But these are tools that are there to just, make you a little bit curious and maybe think about different ways that you could use these. So this is an episode where we're going to share some wonderful suggestions with you, and then hopefully you are going to go out and do a little bit of your own research and investigations and see if you could use these tools yourself. Then after we've shared those 5 tools, we're going to go and have a look at some of those best practices for using AI as an educator. AI is a tool, okay? AI is an assistant. It's not there to replace you, but there are some best practices that we do actually need to follow in order to ensure that we are actually using AI efficiently and effectively. And then just to wrap up like normal, I'm just going to share some different ways that you can stay connected with us here after the episode finishes this evening so that you can continue your EdTech journey and learning with us here at Evolve EdTech. So that's what we're going to have a look at in the next hour. We're going to try very, very hard tonight to keep it to the hour. I know I say that a lot, but we're going to try to do that this evening. So let's dive in and get started with tonight's episode. So why does AI matter in education? As I mentioned, AI is here. It's now. It's in 2026. It's not something that's going away. It is becoming more ingrained in every single aspect and facet of our society and our world, that it's going to become something that we need to be considerate of when it comes to our role as an educator in the classroom. So the reality is that as an educator, and I'm still a full-time educator, we're expected to do a lot with very little time. It doesn't matter if you're down here in Australia like I am, whether you're over in the Northern Hemisphere, the US, you're over in Europe, you're in Asia, it doesn't matter where you are. We know that the reality is that educators are expected to do a lot. So let's have a look at some of the things that we are expected to do every day as educators. So we are expected to do more with less. That's right. We're expected to do more jobs, collect more data, more assessments, more reporting, more feedback. We're expected to do this, but we're not given the time, we're not given the resources to be able to do this efficiently and effectively. So we are expected to do much more within our role as educators, but we aren't being provided with those resources that we need to be able to do this efficiently and effectively. We're also being expected to personalize learning. All right. So I've been teaching for, just under 16 years now, and I can say personalized learning has always been there, but the level of personalization in 2026 is absolutely outstanding. Okay. And when I say outstanding, I don't necessarily mean in a great way. It is outstanding that we are personalized learning for our students, but it's really difficult because, again, it goes back to that first point about having to do more with less. All right. So maybe in your class, you've got a huge range of abilities and students, and it's really hard to develop and create that personalization with the time and resources that you're provided. All right, as educators, we are also expected to provide timely feedback. And if you have a really dedicated class, if you have large classes, if you have a big teaching load, you know that this can be something that is really time consuming. This is something that is really challenging, okay? Especially if you're in a very content or language heavy teaching area. I teach English, okay, down here in Australia. And that involves a lot of writing, a lot of text, a lot of reading. So, looking and providing this feedback actually takes up a lot of time, and it can be quite overwhelming. All right, educators are also expected to create engaging resources. All right, if you have a class today in 2026, you probably know how challenging it is to engage the young people that we're teaching today. We know that we have this 30-second TikTok like video. We know that we have these short YouTube reels and all these different kinds of, multimedia and multimodal content that is being created and consumed by our young people, that we actually need to really think about how we create those resources, how we engage our students, because some of those old methods that we used in the past, they are no longer really effective or efficient. So we need to look at how we can create those resources in a way that is going to cater for our young people today in 2026. And finally, as educators, we are expected to keep up with this rapid technological change. All right. Yes, we are expected to keep up this. We are expected to kind of keep growing and keep developing. That's why I'm here as a leader and a coach here at Evolve EdTech to support you with this in a way that is practical and accessible. For some people, they don't have access to these kind of resources. So incorporating this technology into their classroom and developing those skills that our young people need is quite challenging. So just here we have 5 really valid reasons about what we are expected to do today as educators in 2026. So if we flip the book just here and we look at this idea of AI and artificial intelligence, let's have a look at how AI can actually help us as an educator. What can it do for us to, take away some of these expectations that we have placed on us by our departments and schools and, our workplaces? And what can we do to make our jobs a little bit more practical, to keep us sane, to make sure that we are looking after our well-being, we're meeting the needs of the young people that we're teaching in our classes? How can AI actually assist us with this? All right, the first way that AI can help educators is by helping to reduce that repetitive workload. So, looking at the various AI tools, and some of the AI tools that we're going to look at tonight can absolutely help reduce this repetitive workload that we are faced with. Whether it's creating a resource, a worksheet, a closed passage, questions, we can find an AI tool that is going to be efficient and effective to help with this particular part and role of our job as an educator. All right, AI can also help educators by helping us generate ideas and resources. Absolutely. If you are absolutely stuck for an idea, if you can't think of questions based on the text, you've got a YouTube video, AI is your best friend when it comes to this. Okay. It is going to take and cut out all of that time that you are probably using to procrastinate, and it's going to provide you with something that is a starting point. Okay. So it can help us generate those ideas, generate those essay questions, generate those narrative writing or persuasive prompts that we're going to share with our classes. It can help us generate and create resources that we can use with our students. Doesn't matter whether they're only in primary school, middle school, high school. They can even help us if we're teaching some of those university, college type students as well. So AI can help you to generate ideas and resources. All right, the next reason and next way that AI can help educators is by supporting differentiation. So we're here in 2026. Differentiation is something that you will hear all the time. Okay, we need to differentiate for our students. Well, AI can actually help you out with this. All right, it is very easy to go in and differentiate a text based on, whether your student is your first language that you might be teaching in. So obviously, I'm from an English-speaking country, so our first language that we teach in is English. I have lots of students who are coming from African countries, who are coming from Asian places, who are coming from all over the world who don't natively speak English as their first language. So AI can help me create and adjust and differentiate those resources so I can support them as they're learning and developing their English skills. Okay, the next reason why AI can help educators is because it can actually help enhance creativity. So we can use AI to generate those prompts, generate those story starters, those sentence starters, those ideas that we could use for artworks, that we could use to create projects. It can help enhance creativity by providing your students with a myriad of suggestions to get started with whatever you're looking at. It's also great to take something and pop it into an AI system and get it to create a modeled response. We know that modeling and that explicit teaching is very important, and AI is a powerful tool that can help us out with that as well. All right, and our final reason why AI can actually help educators is because it can help us improve our productivity. Yes, we can reduce that workload by incorporating and utilizing a range of different AI tools. All right, you might not just use a singular tool, you might be using different tools for different purposes, but it can absolutely help improve your productivity. So maybe instead of sitting there trying to draft an email to a parent or to a colleague or someone like that, you might create that draft. Then you might get another tool such as ChatGPT or Claude to go and rewrite it so it's professional or to take out the emotion. Okay. So there's so many different ways that AI can actually help and assist us as an educator. These are just 5 examples. These are just 5 very simple reasons why AI can be a tool that can help you and I in our everyday practice as educators. So these are some of the reasons why AI matters. AI matters today in education. You can't hide, okay? It is here, it is now. It is something that's going to continually be embedded into our world and our education system. So you probably need to get on board this train. Okay. Yeah, for some of us, it is really scary. But I can tell you, once you're on board this train, you are going to absolutely love the view. You're going to look at everything and you're going to go, why didn't I get a ticket earlier? Because this is going to help me out so much. It is going to make your life so much easier, much more efficient and effective, and it's going to give you some time back. All right. It's going to help you with your well being and your welfare and making sure that you can actually go out there and enjoy life rather than being consumed as your role as an educator 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All right. So, this is why AI matters in education. All right, so let's go and have a look at 3 ways that AI can support you as an educator. Okay, these are just 3 simple ways. And to link this in, we've linked these in with tonight's theme. Okay, so let's have a look at this idea of empower or empowerment. Okay, so how can education and how can AI support us when it comes to empower? Well, we can empower ourselves to work more efficiently. Okay. And AI is a tool that we can use to actually achieve this. We can reduce the time spent on those repetitive and admin tasks, and we can become more efficient and effective educators, which is ultimately going to be to the benefit of the young people that we're teaching in our classes. So let's empower ourselves to work more efficiently through the support of AI. All right, so how can AI enhance our role as an educator? Well, AI can enhance that teaching and learning that we are delivering to our students each and every day. We can improve the programs, the activities, the skills, the accessibility, every single thing that we're doing as part of our role as a teacher, we can continue to enhance. We can use AI to strengthen the quality of those learning experiences, to really make sure that they're real world, that they're connected to every single facet of the lives of the young people that we teach. It doesn't matter what type of context you teach in. We can definitely use AI to enhance our teaching and learning experiences. So, how can we use AI to engage? All right. This is so important for you to consider in 2026 because we know that engagement and being able to concentrate and connect and actually contribute to something in the classroom can be quite challenging, but AI can actually help us with that. So we can use AI to help engage our young people that we are teaching in our classrooms to create richer learning experiences. So we can move from just photocopying a workbook that we've had since the 1970s or 80s, and we can now use AI powered tools to make learning more interactive, visual, and accessible. Okay. So we can move beyond the textbook. We can move beyond just reading a passage. Now we can incorporate video, we can incorporate sound, we can incorporate different types of modes of learning to really connect and create those richer, deeper learning experiences. All right. So there are just three ways that we can empower, enhance, and engage ourselves as educators to support the benefits of our young people. Okay. It is about making sure that they are ready for their next journey in our really vastly changing world. All right. I've talked about this many times here in episodes and all different kinds of workshops. But we need to prepare our young people for a world. Their world is going to be different to the world that you and I probably grew up in. Okay. So just remember that this isn't about you. This is about the young people that we're going to be teaching, that we're going to be letting go out into the world in a number of years. Okay. This is about making sure that they are ready to go out there and tackle every single thing that they are going to face in their life, in their jobs, in their world over their lifetime. So, AI, all right, it is so beneficial for you and I in also ensuring that we are catering for our young people that we are teaching in our classrooms. Okay, so let's get into the gist of this episode. As I said, I'm going to try and keep this to well under an hour today. Fingers crossed. Let's see if I can do that. So, tonight I'm going to share 5 AI tools that I think every educator should know about. Now, I see as an edtech coach and someone that's very into educational technology, I pretty much see every day, every week, I am seeing a new AI tool appear on the market. I'm seeing something advertised on Facebook or Instagram, and I'm going to, be honest here and say, I definitely have not tried every single tool that is out there in the universe. Okay. It is impossible for me to go out there and try every single one of these and provide you with, a really honest, open interpretation and perspective about these. I had a brain fart there. Do not know what I was trying to think of. So tonight I'm going to present 5 ideas to you. Okay. I'm not going to say that I have used these 5 particular ideas myself in every single one of my classes, but these particular tools are tools that I think are worth going out there and exploring. Okay. And I talk about this all the time here at Evolve EdTech. You need to go and research these. You need to go and test these. You need to see if they're right for your context. Okay. If you feel that these tools are great, cool, pop them into your EdTech toolkit and then utilize them over and over again. Okay. But do not think that you need to go out there and know every single tool in the universe. All right. For example, I currently have a pre-service teacher and she is doing a wonderful job with her classes, which is wonderful to see. She's really lucky because obviously I do love my ed tech. So we are incorporating a little bit of technology into her lessons. And I'm looking forward to seeing a lesson tomorrow using a tool that I am very excited for her to experiment with. But what I have said to her is you don't have to go out there and use every single tool. And I have actually been very honest to her about which tools I do have active subscriptions to and which tools, I don't have those subscriptions to. And I've given her some suggestions and things so that she's not going out there and she's not subscribing to all of these tools for, an absolute truckload of money, and she's not actually getting the full benefit of these tools. So these 5 tools that I'm going to share with you tonight, I'm not telling you to go out there and subscribe to these tools. These are just 5 tools that I want to kind of invigorate and get you thinking and maybe see if these tools are going to be right for your context. All right. So I just really want to, make that very clear. I'm not saying that these are the best tools out there. I'm not saying that you should subscribe to these. I just want to share some different options with you and get you to make the choice, because you're a big person. We're a big people. That didn't make sense, Tristan. We're big people. We're honest. We're educated. We can get out there and we can make those choices that are right for us. So let's dive into the first AI tool that we're going to explore tonight. And I love this one. And it's something that has kind of just recently crept back into my life. And I'm so glad that someone pretty important to me actually has done a lot of work on recently. So our first tool tonight is Claude. All right, if you have not heard of Claude, you are really missing out. Okay, I have used Claude a little bit. I used Claude when I was playing around, when AI was kind of rearing its head in society, when ChatGPT was kind of poking its nose out of the ground. And Claude was something that I experimented with a couple of years ago. And then I kind of left it because ChatGPT came onto the market and ChatGPT was getting better and better and better. Then I have a Gemini account, a Gemini Pro account with my phone and things like that. So I kind of was also experimenting with Gemini. But my wonderful friend and my coach, myself, yes, I have my own coach, Sarah Cordner, she was actually investigating and starting to look at how she could use Claude with her business. And it kind of reinvigorated me to jump back in and explore Claude and see how Claude had actually changed and grown from those very first days when I started using it. So what is Claude? If you have never heard of Claude before, let's go and have a look. So Claude is an advanced AI assistant developed by Anthropic that helps users analyze information, generate content, summarize documents, brainstorm ideas, and solve problems. Pretty much every single thing that an AI tool is expected to do. Okay, Claude can be particularly useful for educators because it can work with large amounts of text and provide clear, thoughtful responses in a conversational format. So I have used Claude for some of my resource creation when it comes to my role as an educator. I have used Claude for some of the things that I do here in the background for Evolve EdTech. Okay. And I can tell you that it probably has provided me with some of the best supportive, accessible conversations and output that I have actually ever experienced through one of these generative AI systems. So I'm thinking Claude is a really great tool if you're looking for something a little bit higher than ChatGPT or Gemini. And I think it's a tool that's worth investigating. Okay, so why is Claude great for you and I as educators? Okay, so first reason here, it can summarize lengthy curriculum documents, policies, and reports. Excellent, because if you have those syllabus documents, you have those policies, you can know that they can be full of jargon and they can be quite confusing. So Claude is a great tool to go and summarize those and get the gist of those nice and quickly. All right, Claude can also assist with lesson planning and resource development. Yes, very similar to obviously ChatGPT or Gemini or every other tool that we're going to explore tonight. But do you know what? Every single tool that you use is going to provide you with something slightly different. So if you're looking for a little bit of a different output, Claude might be one to go and just have a look at as well. See what it creates, see what it generates for you. Claude is also great at generating those discussion questions, learning activities. Okay. And again, this is a chance for you to use different tools and see how the same prompt or same idea actually can generate different types of questions and learning activities where you might be able to pull different parts of those to create something. Claude can help the creation of assessment masks, tasks and marking criteria, which is fantastic. So taking, again, reducing that workload, making things a little bit more efficient and effective by getting it to create a draft of an assessment task or a marking criteria. It is going to save you a truckload of time and it's going to make your life so much easier. All right, Claude is also great to help adapt those content for different year levels and abilities. Okay, I did notice that it was actually really good at that. So if you're looking for really differentiated content and text, and you want to create some different activities for groups that you could pop onto Google Classroom, Claude might be something that you explore. And Claude can also analyze those large documents and extract key information. So if you have some kind of large reading, you have a textbook or something like that, you could use Claude to be able to create, an infographic or a summary, or extract those key points that you can then use with your colleagues, your school community, or the students in your class. So there are just 6 reasons why Claude is such a powerful tool for you and I as an educator. Okay, so some of the benefits of using Claude, and again, you'll probably find these ideas will come across all 5 tools tonight, because we're looking at how we can actually use these tools to make our role as a teacher more efficient and effective. Okay, first one here, pretty obvious. It can save significant preparation and planning time. Absolutely. Again, it comes down to knowing the prompt, what you're looking for, being very explicit and specific, but you can save a truckload of preparation and planning time. We can improve that efficiency when we're working with those complex documents. Okay, sometimes if we're using other AI tools, those complex documents might become a bit problematic, but Claude is going to help improve that efficiency. All right, Claude can also help educators generate fresh teaching ideas. And I've already mentioned this tonight. Pop the same prompt into Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, all those other tools, and see what comes up here. And you might be able to take parts of all of these different ideas to generate those really fresh, innovative teaching ideas. It supports that differentiation and inclusive learning practice that we all should be embedding into our classrooms. It reduces that workload and that admin that we're faced with each and every day. And that means that we have more time to focus on our students. We have more time to focus on their learning, their engagement, their skill development, because it's all about them. So, Claude, a really great tool to go out there and investigate. I know I went through that really quickly, but we've got 4 more tools that I want to share with you this evening. And as I mentioned, I'm going to try and stick to under the 60 minutes tonight. So, Claude, a fantastic AI tool that you may not have tried, but I encourage you to go and have a look. It's got a wonderful free plan. Just remember, the free plan does have limitations, obviously, with usage. So just be aware of that. But it is a tool that I think, might be one that we haven't dipped our toes into this pond yet. And I think it's a tool that could actually be something that you might add to that EdTech toolkit. So go out, have a look at Claude, and see what you might be able to do and create for your students today. Okay, let's head over to our second AI tool that we're going to share, and that is Magic School. Now, we have talked about Magic School here on the channel before. It is something that has featured pretty heavily, and it is still a fantastic tool that you can use and incorporate into your classroom. So, what is Magic School if you have not heard of this powerful tool so far? So, Magic School is an AI platform designed specifically for educators. So, straight away in this very first sentence of this description here, we have a big difference between Claude and Magic School. So, Magic School is designed for educators. So, this means that everything that we are going to generate and create in Magic School is going to have students and teaching and learning at the heart of those ideas, at the heart of the resources, the content. Every single thing that is created through Magic School, okay, is being created specifically for you and I as educators. So, Magic School provides a wide range of education focused tools that assist with lesson planning, assessment creation, communication, differentiation, and administrative tasks, making it one of the most teacher-friendly AI solutions available. So, just as I mentioned and just as I alluded to, here we have a teacher-friendly and educator-specific AI tool that is probably going to give you a different response to something like Claude. All right. And this is why I am highly suggesting and encouraging you to pop the same ideas into multiple AI tools to see what it creates, because you'd be surprised how different your output will be, but you might actually be able to pull something from all of these different tools and use these to create, like, a hybrid, mismatched, wonderful learning activity by taking a little bit, okay, a little bit of a Frankenstein here, but to create something that could be just right for your context. Okay, let's have a look at why Magic School is a great tool to use in the classroom. That was fantastic, Tristan. That was really good. Okay, first one here, we've talked about this already. It is designed specifically for educational settings. This, I think, is one of the key selling points here between, say, Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, and Magic School. It is designed for us, all right? That is the premise. That is the thinking behind this particular tool. So the output that you're going to receive is going to probably be a little bit more specific. It's going to be a little bit more directed and tailored to your particular context, where obviously Claude and ChatGPT and Gemini are using what is out there in the internet. Okay, so it's a great tool if you're looking for something really specific to our role as educators. Okay, Magic School is great because it also includes hundreds of tools tailored to teacher needs. So if you do head to our YouTube channel, we do have a few, probably a little bit older now. We might have to go and refresh some of these. We do have a few little tutorials looking at some different Magic School tools, but they are so many different tools that have specific functions. So if you're looking to create a behavior plan, if you're looking to create a quiz, if you're looking to create multiple choice questions, if you're looking to create a newsletter, there's all of these different types of tools that are available, where obviously they are very structured. The prompts are there to generate something that is going to be able to be used in the classroom. So Magic School has lots of tailored tools that are going to be really beneficial for you to use as an educator. All right, Magic School also generates lesson plans aligned to learning outcomes. Okay, I'm going to have a caveat here. Okay, just be aware that if you have a particular set of systems or standards or outcomes, not all of these may be specifically available natively in Magic School. I'm sure that they are always adding them, but just be aware that they might be very, for example, American focused. So they are definitely there, and they were there last time I checked. But obviously, you might need to just be aware of that if you're looking for activities that are really created and tailored to your particular outcomes or standards or syllabus or whatever you teach wherever you are. Okay, Magic School is great at creating rubrics, quizzes, assessment resources. Again, it's because we have these very specific tools that are tailored to these particular jobs and these particular parts of your role as an educator. Again, Magic School can support those differentiated instructions, those personalized learning activities that we are utilizing in our classroom. And Magic School can also assist with parent communication and student support plans. So if you need to create something for your students, you need to share something with your parents, whether it's the good, the bad, the ugly. Okay, Magic School is a tool that you could use to actually draft something that you could then use in your capacity as an educator. Okay, so what are some of the benefits of using Magic School? And remember, some of these ideas are going to cross all 5 of our tools tonight. And I think that's fantastic, because I want you to see that not one single AI tool that we are presenting to you tonight is gold star, okay? They are all gold star. They all have their benefits, their pros, their cons, but they are all worth investigating. So some of the benefits include reducing that prep time for lessons and assessments. Absolutely. We want that. We want to put more time back into teaching and encouraging and that inquiry and making our young people inquisitive. So if we can reduce that prep time, it is going to be to the benefit of you and your students. It can also help simplify the creation of high quality teaching resources. Again, you could get it to create something and then you could pop that into Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT, another tool, and then again, see what it can do to make it even bigger and better and something that is even more accessible that you could use in the classroom. All right, it can support those diverse learners, which is fantastic because remember, this tool is created for educators. So that means that those diverse learners, that differentiation is going to be really specific and explicit for the needs of those young people. We can also use Magic School to improve the consistency across teaching resources and materials. So if you're trying to keep consistent language, consistent kind of instructions, a format, we can do that if we're using Magic School, okay? So that is a big benefit as well. If you're going to use something that is generated straight from Magic School, this could save you a truckload of time. Again, reducing that prep time and that admin that you might need to do. All right, Magic School can provide us with practical solutions without requiring those advanced AI skills. So other tools might require a little bit more of an understanding of prompting and being able to write a prompt to get the output and the desire that we're looking for, where obviously Magic School is designed for educators, so it might be a little bit more simplistic and you might be able to achieve that output faster. And it can help educators spend more time teaching and less time creating resources. That's what we want to do. We don't want to be spending all of our preparation time, if you get preparation time, creating resources. We want to do this in a way that is efficient and effective so that we can put more time back in to teaching our young people. So there is tool number 2, Magic School, which I think is absolutely worth exploring and getting out there and seeing if it should be part of your EdTech toolkit. Okay, let's move on to tool number 3. And this is going to be a little bit of an exclusive just here. And I'm going to tell you something that is a little bit of a secret. But I would stay tuned and probably subscribe to the Tristan Heron YouTube channel. It has had a slight name change. So I would actually go and subscribe to our YouTube channel because there may be an innovative EdTech episode coming up in August that is going to deep dive into this wonderful tool just here called Ed Cafe. All right, this is a new AI tool that I have discovered, and we are going to dive a little bit deeper into this with one of our innovative EdTech episodes coming up in August. So make sure that you have subscribed to the Tristan Heron YouTube channel and come and join us for that one. So what is Ed Cafe? All right. Now, this might be one that you have never heard of before. And I had never heard of it until I found it, explored it, and started playing around with it. But Ed Cafe is an AI-powered teaching platform that, again, enables educators to create, organize, and share learning resources in one central location. Now, there is one key difference just there to Claude and Magic School. And that is why you probably need to come along in August to have a look at our session. So Ed Cafe combines content creation, lesson development, and resource management tools to support more efficient teaching and learning. Okay, so there is something that is really special about Ed Cafe that really helps to support that idea about making your role as an educator more efficient and effective. Okay, let's go and have a look at some of the reasons why Ed Cafe is a great tool for you to use as an educator. Again, it creates those teaching resources using AI. That's why we're here tonight. Pretty obvious. Okay, so that's a given. All right, it can also help us organize learning materials in a single workspace. Again, I'm not going to give you too much just here unless you want to go and investigate this yourself, but we're going to show you some of these ideas in August during our Innovative EdTech episode. So I'm not going to spoil it too much tonight, but it is just there. That single workspace could be pretty handy. All right, Ed Cafe also supports lesson preparation and content creation. All of the tools tonight that we are looking at helps us do that. So that's pretty obvious there as well. Okay, Ed Cafe enables educators to build customized learning collections. Okay, so this is pretty exciting. All right, creating a customized learning collection that we might be able to reuse over and over again. So, again, a little bit of a hint about what could be coming up in August. Okay, it can help simplify the management of digital teaching resources, which is always a plus when you have so many files, you have so many things that you need to access. EdCafe can help simplify that. And EdCafe can support both classroom and online learning environments, which is great. So if you are teaching some kind of online school or online classroom, EdCafe is a fantastic tool. If you're like me, you're actually in a physical location, EdCafe is another wonderful tool that we could use here. So there's some reasons why EdCafe is a great tool. And you might already be kind of going, ooh, Tristan, this sounds really intriguing. I can't wait until the Innovative EdTech episode in August to find out a little bit more about this tool. And I'm not going to go and look at it myself beforehand because I want to see what Tristan shares with us. No, you can go and look. It's fine. It's fine. I trust you. Okay, so what are some of the benefits of using EdCafe? Okay, pretty obvious. Saves time. Okay, saves time searching for and organizing those resources. Okay, if you have a Google Drive or a OneDrive or a what's that thing, a OneBox or, you know, a Dropbox or whatever you've got, I don't care what you use. But if your Google Workspace and your G Drive is like mine, it is horrific. There is stuff in there from 10, 15 years ago. I don't even want to know. Okay, I look at how much data is in my G Drive, and I'm a little bit shocked. Okay, there's gigabytes, hundreds of gigabytes of stuff in there. So EdCafe can help us save time by searching and organizing those resources in one nice, distinct location. It can obviously help make our lesson preparation more streamlined. And again, we'll explore this in August. It can help improve access to those teaching materials for students. All right. So this is something that you might think about. Again, this is contextual. You might not be allowed to use a tool like EdCafe within your context, but if you can, this is a fantastic tool that you might explore. EdCafe is a great tool to support that consistent delivery of learning content. So that I think is something that we all need to be thinking about because we are using so many different types of tools that sometimes it can get a little bit overwhelming for our young people. All right. Today I was talking to my pre-service teacher about Google Classroom and why I really find Google Classroom to be a fantastic tool as our learning management system. And then using those tools that allow me to post assignments and post activities to Google Classroom directly. And I was talking to her about eliminating those extra steps of having to get our students to sign into a resource, where if we're going and we, having something in Google Classroom where our kids just go into Google Classroom, click on the assignment and access the tool, it is going to save you an absolute truckload of time. It's going to prevent a mega headache. It's going to make that learning delivery so much more consistent. All right, EdCafe can also reduce the duplication of effort across subjects and courses, which is fantastic. We're looking for time saving. We're looking for tools that are going to help us to make our teaching and learning processes much more efficient and effective. And if we can reduce duplication, excellent. And finally, EdCafe can help us create a more organized teaching workflow. All right. Again, EdCafe might be something that you look at. You might look at it and go, do you know what? It's not going to work for my context. You might go, yeah, it's going to work for me. It's going to help that, it's going to help that organization, that workflow, so that I can be the best educator that I can be with the time that I have available. So EdCafe, it is a really new tool to me. It is something that I'm pretty excited to share in August. So make sure you come and join us for Innovative EdTech in August. We're going to deep dive. It's going to be a demo episode. We're going to jump in and have a look at EdCafe. Okay, let's jump in. We are doing so well for time, so let's not jinx ourselves, Tristan, and jump into tool number 4, which is TeachMate. Okay, so TeachMate is an AI assistant, again, created specifically for teachers. I love these tools that are being created specifically for you and I as educators. All right, it provides a suite of tools that help educators generate lesson content, assessments, reports, feedback, classroom activities, and administrative documents in a fraction of the usual time, all right, which is fantastic. We want to make our roles easier, more efficient, so we want it to do these things for us in the most effective way possible. Okay, so why is TeachMate another great tool that we could consider adding to our EdTech toolkit as an educator? Again, just like Magic School, it is built specifically for classroom teachers, which big thumbs up from me, because again, the content, the output is going to be probably just what we're looking for, which is what we want as an educator. Again, it can help generate lesson plans and learning activities quickly, a theme that's come across multiple tools tonight. It can assist with report writing and student feedback. Fantastic. All right. That is another one of those jobs that takes up a lot of time. And if we can use a tool like TeachMate to get those started, that is going to be so much more beneficial for you. It can create quizzes, worksheets, assessment materials. Again, this is a theme that's come across multiple tools, supports that differentiation, and it can help reduce the administrative workload that we face. Okay, again, you can see, and this is what I've been telling you all night, is all of these tools will do very similar things for you. Okay, and we can see that right here with TeachMate. So what are some of the benefits of using TeachMate? Okay, again, it can save us hours of preparation and documentation time. We want that. We want to get that time back. Okay, it took me an absolute truckload of time. Okay, it took me years to finally work out a system of preparation and documentation to be more efficient and effective. Okay, I used to, and I remember one of my high schools that I taught in 2013, I remember going home from school and spending 3 or 4 hours every night, okay, 5 nights a week doing schoolwork, all right? Today in 2026, I will very, very rarely come home and do work, okay? Sometimes I will. I might do a little bit on the weekend, but I've actually managed to save a truckload of hours in preparation time by looking at how I can be more efficient and effective. How can I use and incorporate AI into my plans? How can I reuse old activities and resources for my classes? So TeachMate can really help us with that. It can also help maintain that consistency in reporting and feedback, which is also really good. So if you're looking to create some consistency with your students, TeachMate is a great tool to use. Again, it can reduce educator workload and stress. I think the one thing that I really want to get through to you tonight is, well, 2 things. AI is great and you should use it. But the second one is you need to think about you, okay? You're an educator. You have to have all these different types of roles as a teacher in the classroom. If we can just do one thing, like using an AI tool to reduce that workload, to reduce that stress, to give you some time back to live and be a human, that is such a powerful moment. Okay. So, really looking at how we can do that is something I want you to think about when it comes to AI as well. We can also use it to provide inspiration for engaging activities. We can look at how it can support improved productivity through the teaching cycle, okay, which is another fantastic component here, okay? How can we make our teaching and learning much more productive? And finally, we can look at how we can, you know, how can TeachMate enable you and I as an educator to focus more on supporting our students? How can we go out there to make sure that it's our students that are getting the very best version of us so that they can learn and they can be prepared for their future? So TeachMate is another tool. There's some consistent themes here with the other 3 tools that we've seen tonight. And I hope that you can see that every single tool has its own benefits. Every single tool has something that it can provide you to help you be the best teacher that you can be. Okay, let's quickly finish off this so that we can head into the final rundown of tonight's episode. And tool number 5 is Brisk. So the previous tools that we've looked at tonight have either been web-based or you have may be able to access an app to use these tools. This one here, Brisk, is actually a Chrome extension. So if you're a Chrome user, this is a tool that you might look at because it's going to be embedded into your Chrome browser. And we know that Chrome extensions are, they're an extension. They're an add-on of a tool or resource that you can use within your Chrome browser. So what is Brisk? Because this might be something that you haven't explored or experimented with before, but let's go and have a look at what Brisk is. So Brisk Teaching is an AI-powered Chrome extension designed to work alongside educators within their existing teaching platforms and websites. It helps teachers create resources, provide feedback, differentiate content, and streamline everyday classroom tasks directly from their browser. Okay. So it is a tool that you can use within your Chrome browser. So that is probably the biggest differentiator when it comes to this particular tool compared to the other 4 tools that we've explored this evening. Okay. It is a Chrome extension. All right, let's jump over and have a look at why Brisk is great for you as an educator. Again, it integrates directly into everyday practices and teaching workflows, and it does that through your browser. Okay, so keep that up here in your brain hole because it is really important to remember that this is browser based. Again, it works with commonly used educational platforms. So that could be a real benefit to using Brisk. If you're using another tool, obviously, in your Chrome browser, it's going to probably work quite efficiently within that. We can use Brisk to generate feedback on student work quickly. Fantastic. We want to save some time. And if Brisk is going to help us out with that, that is absolutely fantastic. It can help us differentiate resources for varying learning needs. Again, something that's come up across multiple tools, assist with lesson and assessment preparation, and supports efficient content creation without switching between tools. That's a really good one to know as well. So we can really create some great content for our students, but we don't have to keep switching between different tools. All right, let's finish off with having a look at some of the benefits of using Brisk. Okay, again, this is a tool that I might encourage you to go out there and experiment with yourself. Obviously, this is a very quick run through this evening of these tools, but I just want to pop them up here. Okay, I just want you to kind of think about these and then go out and see which of these tools you might be able to use. All right, so what are some benefits? Brisk can save us time by working where teachers already work in the Chrome browser. How great is that? It's going to save you a truckload of time switching between different things because we're all doing it in the one location. It can help speed up the feedback and assessment process. Fantastic. We love that. Again, supports personalized learning experiences. All right. So you might have a particular resource, a web page, a video, or something that you're using with your particular class within your context. This is a great tool that's going to help with that personalized learning. Again, it can reduce those repetitive administrative tasks. It can improve that productivity, and it can help make AI adoption simple and accessible because we're not using another tool. We're using something that is being added and extended for a tool, Google Chrome, that we're already using within our teaching and learning and everyday components and roles as educator. So Brisk, definitely a tool that I think you should consider and maybe think about how you could use this in your classroom. Okay, so there are 5 tools tonight that we have very quickly gone through just so that you get a little bit of an idea of what is out in the marketplace here in June 2026, and you can go and investigate some of these. That is what I want you to do. I don't want you to go out there and subscribe to every single one of these and spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on subscriptions. I want you to go out there, try the free versions, maybe think about subscribing for a month if you'd like to test something out a little bit more, but go out and see what you can actually find and what might be beneficial for you. And that leads beautifully into the last little part of tonight's episode. So just going to go through a couple of best practice tips for when we're using AI as an educator. Okay, there are some tips that we really need to think about because these are going to make sure that you don't look stupid in front of your students and you are going to use these tools efficiently and effectively. So AI can be a powerful teaching assistant, but just like any educational tool that we are going to use, it only works best when we use it thoughtfully. So don't just jump out there and use every single tool because you can. We need to think about the purpose behind what we are generating, what we are creating. So we're going to go very quickly through 8 practical tips. Okay, you might need to come back to the recording so you can pause these and you can have a bit of a look at these. But these practical tips are going to help you maximize the benefits of AI, but also maintaining those high quality teaching and learning experiences that we are implementing in our classroom. Okay, the first one here is you need to always review the content that is created by AI. Okay, AI can make mistakes. It can have outdated information. It can completely misunderstand and misinterpret your request, your prompt. So always make sure that you are proofreading and fact checking before you ever use any kind of AI generated content with your students. That is the biggest thing that I really want you to take away, because I don't want you going in there and having something completely inaccurate. I have done it. I am absolutely guilty of this. And then I picked it up halfway through a lesson. So please do not fall on the sword like I did. Please make sure that you check, check, check. Okay, the next tip here is to start with a clear and specific prompt. Okay, so don't just put in something really simplistic. You need to be very specific. Okay, so I know over on our website, we do have a workshop which is called Say It Right, Get It Right, how to prompt ChatGPT like a pro. Okay, that is obviously focused on ChatGPT, but it's all about how to create those prompts that are going to give you the output that you're looking for. Okay, so start with a clear and specific prompt. Make sure it's really detailed so that you actually get the output that you're looking for. All right, keep teacher expertise at the center. All right, so AI can generate ideas and resources, but it's not replacing you or your professional judgment. Okay, you know your students, you know how they learn. All right, so make sure that when you create something, you look at it again, you review it, make sure it's going to work for your context before you actually use and embed and implement it with your students. Okay, the next one here is to protect students' privacy. So avoid entering names, personal information, assessment data, sensitive information, things like that into any of the AI platforms. Okay, desensitize it. Okay, take names out, take school names out, take these things. All right, so do everything that you can to make sure that the privacy of our young people is protected. We don't want them being identified. So please make sure that that is the forefront of every single thing that you do when you're using AI. Okay, make sure you verify for accuracy and bias. Again, check the output, check the content when it is created for you. Okay, it is so important, and continue to cross-check using trusted sources. All right, because you don't want to go into class with something that is inaccurate. Okay, that is out of date, that is inappropriate, that is really biased. Please verify accuracy and bias before you use any AI generated content in your classroom. Okay, use AI to differentiate learning. It is a fantastic tool to do this. Okay, so please use AI to help create multiple versions of activities, adjust reading levels. Okay, it is such a powerful way to do something that takes time. Okay, in the past, this would take time. Now we can do this in mere seconds, and we can actually create resources and learning experiences that are perfect for every single one of our students. Okay, another one here, and I think this is something that we really can all work on, and that is teach students responsible AI use. So actually teach them to understand how AI works, the strengths, the limitations, but also teach them how to use AI, but also to make sure that they are looking at their own critical thinking skills. They're looking at that academic integrity. They're developing that digital citizenship so that they can go out into their world and they can actually be effective and efficient, users of technology and artificial intelligence. All right. So it's really important that we are also teaching our students that responsible AI use. And my final tip just here is to start small and build confidence. All right. So as I've mentioned tonight, you don't need to go out there and use every AI tool under the sun. No, no, no. Do not do that. Start small. Choose one tool, experiment with that, see what it's like, and then maybe go to another tool. And again, eventually you might have a number of different AI tools that are part of your EdTech toolkit. And again, as I mentioned, you might go and put the same prompt into these different tools, see what it provides you, and then kind of come up with a hybrid solution that is something that you might be able to use within your classroom, your teaching and learning, with your particular students and your context. So take your time and then gradually expand that AI usage and those different tools that you might be using and incorporating. So there are just 8 best practice tips for using AI as an educator. I know some of them are like, whoa, they're big. Please be careful. Look for accuracy and bias, and make sure you're looking after students' privacy. But it's not all big and scary like that. Okay, those are just pretty common, and we should be looking and thinking about these things all the time as educators anyway. But there's lots of positives when it comes to using AI in the classroom. So don't just dwell on the negatives, but also think about what AI can do to help you as an educator. And just remember that AI won't replace you as a teacher. Okay, in 2026, AI is your assistant. AI is your, teaching assistant. It's a tool. It's going to be there to help you do the best you can to be the best version of yourself as an educator that you can be. All right, it's not there to replace you in 2026. I don't know what the future will look like, but I think teachers and educators, we need to be here. Okay. You cannot sit in front of a computer with an AI generated voice telling you something and actually feel a connection, actually feel like it's going to be talking to you or it's going to be sharing something practical with you. That is why I'm here right now presenting to you a workshop in person. I'm here. Okay. I'm absolutely here. All right. So I'm still here sharing my experiences, the good, the bad, the ugly. Okay. I want you to see that this human connection is still so important. And that is why AI won't replace you. At least not yet. Hopefully not for a very long time if it does happen, but we still need you. We still need you to be there. We still need you to share stories. We still need you to encourage. But AI is an assistant that can help make your job even more efficient and effective. Okay, let's wrap up this episode. We are so close. I'm just a little tiny bit over time, but we have done really, really well. So my final thoughts, and I've kind of just gone through a few of these already. So AI won't replace you, okay? But teachers who use AI effectively are going to become more efficient, creative, and impactful than ever before. Okay. I have a colleague. She is in her 50s and she is an AI user. And I couldn't be more prouder of her, honestly, because if anyone's going to be an AI kind of denier or refuser, it would probably be someone who's a little bit older. But she has taken it and she utilizes it, and she's become more efficient. She's become more creative and impactful than she's ever been before because she has embraced the power of AI. Okay, the goal is to not do less teaching. Okay, just because we're using AI doesn't mean that we're doing less teaching. In fact, we're probably going to be doing more teaching and more learning because we're actually going to have time to create new resources, activities. We're going to be able to create digital things. We're going to be able to create learning experiences that are perfect for our young people. Okay, so the goal is not to do less teaching, it's to make teaching more exciting, more engaging, more relevant for our young people. And the really significant goal here is to spend less time on those repetitive tasks and more time doing what matters most. And that is, I don't know why there's a, I don't know. So we're trying to do what matters most, okay, which is obviously teaching our students. And finally, building those relationships, inspiring learners, and creating meaningful learning experiences are so pivotal in today's age, okay? And this is one thing that AI cannot do, all right? That is why I'm here presenting to you live tonight, because I'm building those relationships. I'm hopefully inspiring you as a learner, and I'm creating a meaningful learning experience by introducing you to some tools, showing you that you can come out here, you can be on YouTube and Facebook, and I'm out here presenting myself to the world. And I'm, once upon a time, it was petrifying to do this. Now I come on here, I present to you, I make mistakes, I fumble, I do all kinds of really silly things. But you know what? I'm here and I'm trying to show you how easy it is to make those learning experiences meaningful, creative. I'm building those relationships with you and other educators throughout the world because I want you to see that you are still important and that AI is a tool and it's not going to replace you. So let's wrap up just reminding you to look at how you can use AI to empower, enhance, and engage. And that brings us to the end. We're only 5 minutes over time. I'm so excited. How good is that? I didn't think we'd be able to do that in an hour and 5 minutes. So I am so happy. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us for episode 25. I can't believe we've been doing this for nearly 3 years and we're up to episode 25. So thank you for joining us for Empower, Enhance, Engage, AI tools that elevate teaching and learning. So we've gone through and we've looked at 5 tools tonight that you might like to consider adding to your EdTech toolkit. Anyway, let's wrap up here. If you would like to come and stay connected with us, we would love to stay connected with you because we have so much more on offer. If you want to go and check out everything that we have available to you, you can head over to our website, evolveedtech.com. All right, that's where you'll be able to find everything if you're looking for anything specific. Don't forget, if you haven't done so and you are joining us on YouTube, we'd love for you to not only subscribe to this video, but give it a big thumbs up. Feel free to leave a comment. Let us know what excited you or what kind of AI tool that you might be using. If you subscribe or if you haven't subscribed, we'd love you to because it's one way to get our channel out to other educators. And I'd love to get 1,000 subscribers. All right. I'm just over 600 short at the moment, but please share with your friends and your colleagues. All right, we are on the socials. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So feel free to come and connect with us on the socials if you would like to. Again, if you haven't checked out our previous 24 episodes of Innovative EdTech, just head over to our YouTube channel, okay? And you can find the Innovative EdTech playlist, and that's where you'll be able to go and check out all of the other Innovative EdTech episodes from this free workshop that we offer here at Evolve EdTech. Okay, if you are still looking for a little bit more of a challenge and you'd like to continue to elevate your EdTech expertise and become an ultimate teacher and educator resource for your school, we'd love it if you came over and had a look at our membership academy, the Tech Ready Teacher Academy. Now, I'm going to give you a little exclusive here. It is going through a little bit of a refresh at the moment. So if you are looking to come and join, now is the time to come over and join us. All right. So it is a very reasonable price per month. You get a whole heap included for that. And if you come and join us now, you lock in that price for life. Okay. And it's not going to go up. You'll be grandfathered on that price. So go and check out evolveedtech.com/academy to find out about our academy. And don't let Tristan know, but it's getting a refresh. Okay, if you're still looking for a little bit more, we do have a whole suite of free training and resources. And just there is the workshop that I was talking about earlier, that one just there, which is our ChatGPT focused workshop looking at how to prompt like an expert. So if you want to learn some skills to how to improve your prompting skills, that's a great one to go and check out. So just head over to evolveedtech.com/free stuff. And that brings us to the end of episode 25. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you've taken something away tonight. I know that I'm a little bit over time now because I've been talking to you about all the wonderful things that we have to offer here at Evolve EdTech. But don't, I can't even speak. I'm so excited. Don't forget that you can join us again in July, on July 13th for episode 26, which is EdTech on a Budget. Budget-friendly tools every teacher should know about. So I think I'm going to share some tools, but some little tips to maybe make accessing some of these tools a little bit more accessible for us. So I'd love to see you on July 13th at 7 p.m. Melbourne, Australia time for episode 26. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Tristan Heron. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'd love for you to do that. We would like to get to 1,000 subscribers, and you can help us out with that. Anyway, everybody, I hope you've learned something tonight and taken something away. Anyway, I'll catch you again in July for our next session. But until then, everybody, stay safe, and I'll see you again very soon.